Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Mansi, your dermatologist. If you've ever felt overwhelmed or confused while reading an ingredient label, you are not alone. So today's video is for you. We're going to be breaking down all the various things you need to take care of and need to keep in mind while purchasing skincare and reading an ingredient label so that you can make informed decisions for your skin. Let's get started. So the first thing is understanding the front of the label. This usually has claims like hydrating or brightening or even anti-aging. Now, these are marketing terms meant to catch your attention. While they'll give you a rough idea of what the product is like, you cannot rely on them entirely. So what you have to do is flip it over and read the ingredient list. So that brings us to step 2, checking the ingredient list. So in an ingredient list, the ingredients are listed in descending order of concentration, meaning those with the highest concentration are listed on the top, while those with the lower concentrations are listed in the bottom. The first 5 to 10 ingredients are going to make up the majority of the product. Usually, that ingredient is water, or it can even be glycerin or centella asiatica water. This essentially denotes the base that the product is made in. So that brings us to step 3, the active ingredients. Look for the key active ingredients. These are usually mentioned front and center very clearly on the packaging. For hydration, you want to look for hyaluronic acid, glycerin, or even panthenol. For brightening, you want to look at vitamin C, kojic acid, glycolic acid, arbutin. For anti-aging, retinol, peptides, even bakuchiol. Whereas for acne-prone skin, you want to look for niacinamide or salicylic acid. When it comes to active ingredients, you also want to look at the concentration, if it is mentioned on the packaging. While ingredients like vitamin C will need 5 to 20%, ingredients like niacinamide may even need 2 to 5%, and for retinol, you can go even lower. The next thing you want to look at is allergens or irritants. A lot of products will mention that they are formulated without fragrance, without essential oils, without parabens if you're allergic to that. But if you have sensitive skin, look for ingredients like fragrances, essential oils, alcohol, menthol, or eucalyptus. Now here's a little pro tip. If there's an ingredient listed towards the end of the ingredient list, it's usually at a very small concentration and may not cause irritation. However, always do a patch test. The next thing you want to look at is certifications. A lot of products are certified as vegan or cruelty-free. Vegan means that no animals were harmed during the making of the product, nor does it contain any animal-derived ingredients, while cruelty-free means there was no animal testing involved. These certifications are not the same as claims. Claims are clean beauty, green, even dermatologically tested is a claim, dermatologist recommended is a claim. These are marketing buzzwords and they do not really have a body that is governing these claims. Even natural is a claim. The best thing you can do is check the ingredient list and see if the product is actually natural or contains any synthetic derivatives. The next thing you want to look at is skin type suitability. A lot of products will have the skin type that it is formulated for mentioned on the packaging. But in case it's not mentioned, here's a handy guide. For oily skin, you want to look for lightweight gel products or non-comedogenic products. However, non-comedogenic is also a claim. I will definitely cover that in another video or perhaps in the description. If you have dry skin, go for richer hydrating formulas with ingredients like ceramides or even thick plant butters like shea butter. And if you have sensitive skin, you want to avoid irritants like fragrances or essential oils. You can also look for calming ingredients like oats or even panthenol. Now, if you are buying a sunscreen, there are specific things that you need to look for. The first thing you want to look for is SPF and PA. SPF is sun protection factor. It's usually followed by a number like SPF 30, 50, and so on. This denotes the protection against UVB rays. PA usually has plus signs after it, so that denotes the protection by UVA rays. You ideally want a sunscreen that provides broad spectrum protection, which is UVB and UVA. Generally, sunscreens will mention that they are broad spectrum. They additionally, if they cover blue light, visible light, infrared, they will also mention that. When it comes to SPF, you want to go SPF 30 or higher, PA 3+ or higher. Some sunscreens will additionally mention if they are water resistant or sweat resistant. This is especially important if you're going swimming. My pro tip here would be to flip it and check the ingredient label to look for the UV. UV filters are of 2 types. You have physical filters, which are titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, and you have chemical filters, which are everything else except these 2. Most sunscreens these days are usually hybrid sunscreens, which means that they have a combination of physical and chemical filters. Some sunscreens are also tinted, which means they have Iron oxide is also a type of physical filter and it helps to impart the tint to the sunscreen. Next, you want to understand how to use the product. So read the instructions for you to know when to use the product. Products with retinol are best used at night, whereas those with vitamin C are best used in the daytime under sunscreen. Proper usage will give you optimal results. Another thing that you need to do, which is usually not done in Indian households and which I'm also guilty of sometimes, is paying attention to expiry dates. Now, expiry dates are clearly mentioned on the box. But another aspect that you do not see usually is PAO or period after opening. This will tell you how long the product is good for after opening. This is usually the symbol here. You can see that it is good for 12 months after opening. Using expired products can harm your skin barrier and lead to irritation. So please pay close attention to expiry dates. And that's how you can decode an ingredient label. By knowing what to look for and avoiding marketing traps, you can make smart decisions for your skin. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more dermatologist-approved tips. Which video would you like to see next? Let me know in the comments. If you have any questions or even have some topics you'd like to see me cover, drop them in the comments and I'll see you in the next video.